What we're going to talk about today, though, switching gears, is your content. Okay, so you need a content schedule. I've been working with the people at the Industry Leader workshops on this, and they really like it. I've been working with the entrepreneurs and the executives that were here 2 weeks ago for the meetup. They absolutely liked it, so I thought it's worth giving it to all of you, because one of the biggest problems we run into when we start this online business is like, okay, my business is doing good. I need to expand my reach online. That's where most of you come to us from. Business is doing good. I need to expand my reach online. And so that's our job, is to help you expand that reach. But then you're like, okay, I can go cut a TV commercial and it plays for as long as I run it. I can go put a billboard up and it's done once for as long as I run it. This whole content strategy, I got to do this shit daily. This is something I got to do often. This isn't a set it and forget it type of thing. And so, you can come out all full of piss and vinegar and you got a bunch of shit to say. And then a month later, you're like, fuck, I've said everything I've ever wanted to say. I wrote 30 different posts on here and I'm out of ideas. And so I'm going to give you a process today that I've followed for damn near 14 years now. It's worked for me. It's worked for thousands of Apex members. It's worked for tens of thousands of my clients that have bought programs, digital courses, and things like that from me. And it's very simple. That's why it works for me, because it's so simple, it has to work. When things are complex, we give excuses. Oh, that's complex. There's a lot to that. You got to hack the algorithm, all this other stuff, A plus B, do algebra, all this other shit. It's not going to work for me. But I like to make things very simple, because simplicity sells. And when you can boil something down to its most simple nature, then that removes all of the excuses and it allows it to make sense for everyone. So I'm going to give you this simple plan that has worked for me for 14 years. And it is the content schedule, right? So for me, I use the Evernote app. You can use whatever you want. Whatever you're already comfortable with, use that. I'm just saying that for me, because I'm already comfortable with it and I have so much content there, I use the Evernote app. And every day when I have an experience, I extract the lesson from it and I think of how it will entertain my audience. And I have an experience, I go to Evernote, I pull up the folder, I write in what the experience was in a couple, 2 quick 3 lines, bullet points on what to say about the experience, maybe the lesson that I learned from it or what makes it entertainment. And then boom, that's it. That's all I've got to do. Just 3 little quick bullet points and a name. I do that 2-3 times a day, every day of the week. And then on Sunday, I sit down at my computer. I block off 2 hours of time. Usually doesn't take me that long, but I sit at my computer and I write all of my content for the week. So I've had this E3, we call it, have an experience, extract a lesson, entertain the audience with that experience and lesson, right? So I have these E3 experiences. Oh, this happened. That's hilarious. Oh, this happened. That's interesting. Oh, I learned this today. I bet other people need to learn it too. I'm just writing bullet points in there. And on Sunday, I sit down and I elaborate and make them into full posts. The average Facebook post is like 150 words. So it's not like it takes forever to write a face. You're not writing a James Patterson novel on Facebook. You're trying to write it short, concise, get to the point. People scroll once or twice. After that, it's a little excessive, right? So what we're trying to do is, we're not writing novels in these big detailed posts on Facebook. We're writing Facebook posts, right? Something short, concise, to the point. And so I'm sitting down on Sunday and I'm writing all these. I'm going to write anywhere from 8 to 10 of them every single Sunday. So now my whole week, my whole content plan for the week on Facebook is done within about an hour to an hour and a half for me, right? It's completely done. And during the week, I'm just having these E3 experiences and writing them down in my Evernote. When I get to my desk on Sunday, I'm just looking to see which of those experiences were the most important, which of those have the best lessons, which of them are the most entertaining, and I'm gonna write them first. I might have written 30 experiences down during the course of a week, and I get down on Sunday and I'm like, man, 7 of these are actually worth talking about. They're not as cool now a day later. I'm not able to articulate them with the same energy, whatever that is, but it's given me multiple choice of what I want to write about. So I don't have to go, okay, cool, I got 7, I'm done for the week. No, I might put 20 or 30 in there and I'm going to pick the top 7 to write for the following week. That also gives me trailing numbers where 2 weeks from now, I might be like, yeah, I'm going to go back to that experience because I can articulate it better, or this was the result of it, or because of that experience, something else over happened, so now I can tie it in together with a better lesson, whatever the case may be, right? Then I have a system, okay? My system is that when I'm at the gym, before I get out of my truck to go into the gym, I copy whatever I'm going to pick for my post of the day for Evernote. I put a green check next to the title. That lets me know that I've posted it. I paste it into Facebook, and then I post it. Then I go in the gym. I'm not sitting there replying to comments, waiting on likes to happen. I just go to the gym and go on about life. Some point during the day, I'll check the post, make a couple comments. Another point during the day, I'll check the post and make a couple of comments. But I'm covered in that one post in the morning for the day. Why? Because most of my prospects are what we call early risers, okay? And so there's 6 social media time zones. And so you think about like a time zone is like on TV, okay, another form of media. There is the morning news. Then there's that daytime TV, which is like soap operas and shit. Then there's the news again. And then there's Judge Judy or some kind of afternoon type of TV. And then at 5 o'clock, the news comes on again. And then about 7 o'clock becomes prime time because that's when everybody's home and they're willing to watch TV and it's after dinner and so on and so forth. And then you have the news again after prime time's over, okay? Why do I tell you that? That's because they understand there's different TV time slots. Okay, there's prime time, daytime, noon, news time, breakfast time. There's time slots on there. The same thing exact appears on social media. And the first time zone is from like 5:30 to 8 in the morning. And that's the early riser. That's mostly going to be people that are excited to go to work, entrepreneurs, business owners, folks that wake up and go to the gym early, folks that want to wake up, early because they got to go to their sales job or because they're the owner of the business and they got to be the example. It's those kind of people, those early risers. I sell business to entrepreneurs. So that's probably my strongest point because the early riser wakes up. First thing they do is check their phone, handle everything that's in their phone. And then they go to the gym or they go to work and they're busy for the day. The second time slot is from about 8 to 10 a.m. and that's the stay-at-home mom. Doesn't necessarily mean it's just stay-at-home moms, but that name fits for this time slot. My wife is a great example of this. I'm an early riser. I wake up, check my phone first thing. My wife wakes up and she's trying to put 4 kids together, comb their hair, feed them breakfast, get them dressed for school, rush them to the Stewman school bus, get them to, it's like she doesn't have time for social media. So when she gets out after dropping the kids at school, she goes to the gym immediately. So she's not freed up until about 9 in the morning. That's when she can actually sit down and check her messages or email or social media for the day. That's why I use that as the stay-at-home mom. But that could also be the stay-at-home dad. It could be it could be a bunch of people, but that stereotype fits it best. Number 3 is the nooner. Right? These are the employees and the people that go to work. They're busy at work, but now it's lunchtime. They're sitting there scrolling their phone in the employee break room, or they're scrolling their phone in the line at Chipotle, or they're at a restaurant eating somewhere alone and they're scrolling their phone, right? That's the people. That's the lunch crowd, the nooners. Okay. Afternoon delight is the next one, and that is from about 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., okay? They say that 4:30 is prime time on social media because most people are about to get off work, so that's when they are checking their phone, trying to kill that last 30 minutes or whatever before they punch a clock at 5 o'clock. And so that afternoon delight, that's the people that got done with their work a little early and they're checking their social media before they leave the office. That's not everybody who checks during that time frame, but that's the avatar that you're targeting when you post in that time frame. Then there is from 5 o'clock to 9 o'clock. That's the finisher. Okay, so that's the guy or the gal that gets home from work, puts the kids to bed, all that stuff. Then they check social media. They don't have time for it during the day. They only do it when they get home at the end of the day. Then after that, you have after hours. That's the people from 10 o'clock to 1 a.m. that are either, what do you call it when you can't sleep? Yeah, they're insomniacs, or they are, people that lay in bed and they scroll their phone before they go to sleep. So you got those 6 time zones. So you're having these E3 experiences and taking notes, writing your content on Sunday. Then you're going to think, which content belongs in front of which audience? Like I was explaining the other day, if you're a roofer, you really want to target the stay-at-home moms because when you go knocking doors in the morning, they're going to be the ones that are home. That time frame is the time to advertise to making your post on social media, even knocking the doors, right? If you're a business to business, the early risers, but that doesn't mean that you can't hit a early riser on Monday, a stay-at-home mom on Tuesday, a finisher on Wednesday, and so on and so forth. Doesn't mean you can't mix it up. But what I want to challenge you to do is to start to create, I want you to create a schedule of when you're going to post in what time zone. Because if you have a blueprint to follow, it makes this whole thing easier. So you've got your E3 method, an Evernote in my example, then you got your Sunday content creation. Now you got a system to create content. Now the only next thing that you need to do is figure out when you're going to post and what you're going to post. So on Monday, it might be motivation. On Tuesday, it might be some kind of technical thing. On Wednesday, it might be something that's funny. On Thursday, it might be more motivation. On Friday, it might be something funny again, right? So write down how you want to manage your week, regularly scheduled programming, and when and what time zone you're going to post that content in. Because now when you've done this, you have a blueprint and a vision to get focused on. And when you get focused on something, you start to make it happen. So you're like, I need 9 or 10 E3 experiences in my notebook to choose from on Sunday. I need to at least write 7 that fit these demographics and these types of stories that I want to put on my social media. And now, my friends, what you have is regularly scheduled content programming. Just like I knew that the news was on at 6 a.m., noon, 5 p.m. and 9 p.m. That's because I know I can count on that to be the time that it comes on. It's regularly scheduled content. You now have a regularly scheduled content blueprint that will take you 5 minutes or less to fill in the blanks. It will take you 2 hours or less a week to actually do it. And it's done. Done. That simple. And you've got it all figured out, and now you don't have to overthink it. Now you don't have to go figure out some grand scheme. Now you don't have to know how to hack the algorithm. You're just consistently putting content on these days with these subjects in these time zones. It's that simple. Then here's the kicker. 2 weeks after you make a post on Facebook, you can copy paste that shit into Instagram and make it a whole new post in the time zone that you want it to on Instagram. So now you're getting dual purpose from your content. Okay, so now after 2 weeks, you run this play for 2 weeks, and then day 1 of 2 weeks ago, you post on Instagram in that time slot, in that motivational period. And now you've got the same content working for you twice. You just need a picture or a video to go to the stuff on Instagram. Listen, this creates a content cycle to where you're not having to think, what do I post on Facebook? What do I post on Instagram? When do I post? Who do I post to? What should I post about? We just answered all those questions for you. But I know what you're thinking. Well, what about Saturday and Sunday? Post whatever the fuck you want, whenever you want, right? It's the weekend, right? Maybe you take the weekends off from posting on social media. It's okay. But if you'll stick to this plan Monday through Friday, because listen, Monday through Friday, people are at work and they're trying to find every reason not to work. So they're on this thing doing this. So we got a better shot of reaching them. On the weekends, they got shit to do. They're at pool parties, kids' birthday parties, the ranch. They're up to other stuff, right? So during the week, Monday through Friday, we got a good shot of getting in front of our people in the right time slot with the right content to draw them to get to know us, to get to like us, to get to trust us, so that they can tag us in their friends' post about the business or service that we provide. They can send us friends in the DMs and say, hey, my friend so-and-so, they need whatever you do done at their place, right? You start to get these referrals because people know, like, and trust you because you're putting out regularly scheduled content. So, like I say in most of these training episodes, you got all the information you need. There's nothing more to overthink about. There's nothing more to worry about. There's nothing more to concern yourself with. Fill in the blanks on this content program. When are you going to post? What topic are you going to post? And in what time zone? Those 3 things, 5 days a week. That's 15 steps that you can have done in the next 5 minutes. And now you'll have a plan that all you have to do is follow. So get after it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it, y'all.